Lovely. This is a proper interview.
How does it feel to be playing big arenas now? And like you played in front of Sydney Opera House. It's a long way from, uni pubs.
No, yeah, it's mad. I mean, it's a mad thing. I don't think I realized the extent of it, It's kind of like, in my head, we're still just the same, 5 guys, we're playing a show tonight, I'm playing here, man. And then it's just like, it's weird, because it's like, you kind of see the room, you kind of like, that's the thing, but then that all comes with, I guess, there's something behind it. There's a lot of people listening, and I don't think I managed to grasp that, really.
Yeah, and I mean, it's quite a big year for you guys. Like, your new albums had rave reviews, you won another Brit Award last week, and the new tour looks like it's going gangbusters. Does it feel like you guys are surfing a wave of
When
success?
I read and hear all those things, I'm like, wow, that sounds amazing. But it doesn't feel that much like that. I don't know, I just feel there's something. I've been thinking about this a bit, and with like, especially with, we're all sort of like, most of us have hit 30 now and stuff, and we're very insular in the sense that we're always with each other, and we have been since we were 18, and that hasn't, that dynamic between us hasn't changed, but I'm starting to see how other people, I guess, life starts to move on, take new shapes because your friends move on, or someone, has a family. I have a family now, stuff like that, and those things usually bring on a change in your life, I guess. I see it in friends who, like, their dynamics are different, and it's strange that we still have that same, that constant thing that hasn't changed since we were 18, because we get to hang out with each other in the same capacity all the time.
Why do you think post-punk and like the other music that's coming out of Ireland right now, like Kneecap, like why do you think that's hitting with people at the moment?
I think it's just because it's very, I could say the word pure, but it's just honest, it's like, it's for real. It doesn't try to fit into anything.
I keep seeing stories where music journalists are saying that rock bands are a dying breed and no one cares anymore. What would you say to that? Do you think they're right, or do you think?
I mean, I think people have always cared about it. I think there's been like less people caring at times, more people at other times. It's like compared to, the like indie era, less people care about it, but it's definitely a genre that's been there, and it's had its ups and downs, but it's always there, And
Your music is political. You guys have said it's political. You're quite open about that. And I want to ask you about, like, Ireland and New Zealand. We've always had this kind of synergy. Like, there's a lot of Irish, people with Irish background here, and there's a long history of that. And both of our countries have a history of being under British rule. Do you think the fact that your music sort of hits a chord with Kiwis and Aussies too is due to that hangover of colonisation, or does the sort of global success speak to something bigger than that?
I think that's a huge part, though. I think there's a bit about there's more than that, but I think that's a huge part. There's like, no matter where we go and we play shows, there's Irish flags in the crowd.
You just released "It's Amazing to Be Young."
Yeah.
Do you think it's amazing to be young right now?
I think it is. I think so. I think that song came from after my daughter was born, and sort of like watching her, looking at her. Me and Graham were riding in my place, and she was there, and she kind of like was crying loads and stuff, and then we started sort of picking at the notes that she was crying on, and sort of making this song, and then that was the lyric that Green came up with, from like just watching this little thing, and that is, I mean, I look at her, and it's the purest thing that exists. There's a purity that's untouched. That is, that I think you know, we're probably all born with, you know, and some people retain it and some people lose it, you know, and it's to no one's fault, you know. It's just the world sort of like, you know, doing you over.
Yeah, and like getting older, you know, in time passing, you see more things. It does affect your work. Like Romance is quite a shift tonally from Doggerel. What sort of influenced that music and the change in tone? Where did that come from?
It came from having done 3 albums already, you know, having learned a lot. You know, I think everything I think everything you do is always done within your limitations, whether you're aware of them or not, you know, and those limits just broadened through, you know, years of making albums and touring, and we were just capable of doing an album like Romance at that time, and we weren't before, you know.
Because it's like it's a lot lighter. Was that sort of levity intentional, or did it just happen organically during the album process?
It just happens organically, you know. I think it's, yeah. I always think of like, you know, we could have never set out to make that album, you know. And then the same thing with Doggerel. We couldn't make Doggerel again, you know, because we know too much, you know. Like you only make that when you don't know more than that, you know. It's impossible to recreate that, you know, because it'd just be so contrived, and like an effort to make something simple is, you know, unlimited. You just, you know, you just see through it.